Good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning. It's beautiful. I'm out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and this is the beauty of Zoom. So I'm here again this Friday with Keith Murphy, our good friend from Essex Mortgage. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday.
Yay. I just wanted to kind of preface the conversation by letting everyone know that what we're going to talk about today are things that maybe you're already aware of, maybe you're not. It's always a good refresher. And we're going to talk about some things just to be aware of, and really keep in mind that anytime you are doing anything financially, you've got trust your advisors, have good trusted advisors, whether it's a CPA, an attorney, a realtor, or a good lender. And there's a lot of great free advice that we are willing to give you and help you that can help you make some good informed decisions and be able to protect that journey that you're on, which is to purchase real estate, whether it's your first investment property, your first home that you're purchasing, or if you're selling something and you haven't purchased another home, you're buying a move up or a move down, you haven't done it in a long time. This is always going to be the information and the points that are going to be made today will always be important and germane, and trust those advisors, and don't be afraid to ask questions. So with that said, we're going to jump in and try and give you a lot of great information today. Go ahead, Keith. I know you've got a screen share.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start off by telling a couple quick stories before I share the screen so that we can basically understand that these are real life circumstances. And I know you said at the opening there that most of the stuff people kind of already know, but unless it's part of your routine and it's something that you're doing daily, people can forget real easily that one little error in judgment here or there could cost them or delay them in their home buying process. So for instance, yesterday I had an appointment with a client who's been working very diligently. He's up in the Seattle area. He's relocating to Corona, as a matter of fact, this coming August. And he met with a local lender up there who basically said, you can get approved, but you need to do this, 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 and this, which was pay off this credit card, pay off this credit card, pay off this credit card, pay off this car loan to qualify, and make sure you close the accounts.
Oh, God.
He did that. He followed instructions. And what happened was when the credit cards and car note got closed, the algorithm that derived the FICO score had no data to draw from because they're dead accounts. Yeah, his FICO score went down 98 points.
Oh no.
So he was at a 680 something, and now he's below 600. And so now he's ready to start searching and get pre-approved, but he can't because his FICO went below the minimum set by the government. So, he did the right thing. He didn't do anything wrong in the context of debt management, but it really hurt his timeline for buying a house.
Right.
Again, just a simple error in judgment, and now it's going to cause a delay. Have another client who had her first child, went on maternity leave, and enjoyed it so much that when she got near the end of her term, she asked her employer, hey, can I stay on maternity leave and enjoy this child I've had for a few more months, and then I'll be ready to come back to work? And they said, of course, your position's protected, your salary's protected, we love you. We can't pay you between the end of maternity and return to work, but yeah, go ahead. So she did. And then right towards the tail end of that process, before she's ready to go back to work, she called me because her and her husband and their new baby wanted to move out from the renting cycle into home ownership. And everything was pristine. Employment, income, debt ratios, credit score, like everything was solid except for one little problem. Her return back to work date was 181 days. And there are some little underlying rules that say once you've been out of work for 6 months, you have to return to work in the same industry or profession at the same rate of pay and stay in that position for 6 months and earn income for 6 months, not part-time, full-time, before you can qualify again. So if she had talked with me prior to her plans, I would have said, you need to go back to work a week before your intended start date, and then we would have been fine. So there's a lot of nuances, and we're going to get into some of them now. I'm going to share my screen.
Well, those stories though are great. It's a great way for people to learn and understand. They're definite real life examples and just, little subtleties, but gosh, it made a huge difference in these people not being able to move forward.
My best advice to everyone who's looking to purchase, whether you already own or looking to move up or down or buy a second home, or whether it's your first time buying, is to meet with a mortgage professional and your financial team long before you want to get out and start looking at properties. And I think a lot of clients, just based upon our habits, kind of do things in reverse. And they think about what their next move is, then they go on the internet and they start looking in areas they want to live at homes, and they get excited because they see some things that look really attractive, so they set a weekend up to go look at property. Then they get really excited at the opportunity, connect with their best and favorite realtor, Kelly Nelson, to go look at a property, and then there's a hard stop because she is smart as a real estate professional. There's no reason to go look at a property and write an offer on a property if you don't have your financing package in place. And so I think 3 to 4 weeks, if not 6 to 8 weeks, is the minimum time frame before you should, excuse me, I'm going to rephrase that. You should be meeting with your mortgage professional and getting a pre-approval at a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks, preferably 6 to 8 weeks before you're ready to buy. Why so much lead time? For a couple reasons. One, if there is any hurdles or snags that need to be worked on, we have the time, we can exploit the resources to fix the problem versus trying to fix the problem when you're in the middle of trying to close an escrow. So just being proactive is going to save you a lot of pain and stress and delays. Yeah, so just again, overall, be proactive and get in front of things at an early time frame. 6-8 weeks is not too early. Minimum of 3 to 4 weeks before you want to go look at homes, meet with your lender. And what I'm going to do now is share with you guys a list of some of the recurring things that I see that slow up the mortgage process or delay it. And with this list, you can avoid these things and navigate the minefield without, a smart bomb, if you will. And I'm going to make sure that Kelly Nelson here gets a PDF document of everything I'm going to go over, so you don't need to worry about taking notes. Just contact Kelly and she'll forward a copy of this over to you. But here we go. These are some of the do's and don'ts. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly so I don't put anybody to sleep. But number one, when you're talking to different lenders, don't let each lender that you meet or talk to run your credit. If you have too many hard pulls on your credit, it could lower your score, and then you're in a situation where your FICO is too low to get the best rate. So my best advice there is to have your credit pulled once by your preferred lender, and then use that as a template to talk to other lenders to make sure that you're getting the best deal. I would also highly advise not to put your personal information into lending shopping sites. I don't want to call out, specific companies, but you've seen the same TV ads. When lenders compete, you win. The problem is in the disclaimer, they don't explain to you that every lender that's participating to bid for a rate on your mortgage also now has the legal right to pull your credit. And it doesn't just stop there, because these companies will resell your information to their network after a couple of weeks. So there's red hot buyers, and then warm buyers, and then cold buyers, because even after 60 days, they're still trying to sell that lead information. And anytime someone buys it, they now have a legal right to pull your credit. I've literally seen clients have 100 or 200 hard credit pulls in a 30-day window because they put their information into one of these rate shopping sites. So be careful there.
Did you say 100 to 200?
Yeah, that's an extreme, but I have seen someone who was over 740 when I took their pre-approval application. Then they wanted to compare what I quoted them and went onto one of those sites just to make life easy for themselves. 3-4 weeks later, they found a house, they wrote an offer, we went into escrow, and we had to recheck the credit, and their FICO had dropped below 600.
Oh my
because
God.
they had like 200 hard credit pulls. So yeah, it's real, and you need to be careful of doing that.
Read the fine print.
Yep. So let's talk about the third do versus, or excuse me, don't versus do. And that would be before you meet with your mortgage lender, don't pay off any collections or accounts that are in default. Like for instance, I believe like you're not American if you haven't had a medical bill go to a collection agency. You know how you go to see the doctor and there's all these different specialists and labs and they all have a billing cycle. And if your insurance company doesn't pay one of those bills and you're not even aware that that bill was due, it ends up going to collections. So before you go meet with your lender, do not pay those off. It would make sense because you'd want to look good in the eyes of the bank or lender, but it actually can backfire because maybe that medical collection was 2-3 years old. So it's aging, and the algorithm that derives the FICO score isn't really even weighting it very much anymore. But by you paying it off to zero and closing it, you're refreshing it to a current account. And I've seen credit scores drop 50, 80, 100 points as a result of that aging from 3-5 years ago to being current.
So what would you say about someone who may be doing something like what my son is doing? He's, made some judgments in credit and purchases when he was younger in his early 20s. And so now he is working with the collection companies to get those paid off. He's making regular monthly or weekly payments on those and gradually whittling those away. And it seems that as a result, his scores are going up. So is that a good thing or?
Yeah. The thing about paying collectors is you need to get the repayment plan that they put you on in writing.
Yes.
And it needs to stipulate in there that once you followed through on your end of the plan, the account will be paid and closed and have a zero balance. A lot of times when people go to pay off their collections, they want to negotiate. And let's just say, well, I've got this $100 medical bill. Yeah. I'd like to take care of it, but I don't have $100, but I have $50. Mm-hmm. If I sent you $50, would you accept that as payment in full? And of course, the creditor collector says, absolutely. 50 cents on the dollar is better than nothing on the dollar. And most of these collection agencies, the secret to the industry is they're buying those debts for 10 cents on the dollar or less. So for them, they're making, a 500% return on investment when you're paying a $100 collection for $50. Here's the problem. If you don't get that in writing, once they've received your money, they will close your account. It'll show on your credit report as paid, closed, zero balance. But they'll take the delta, the other 50 that you didn't pay, and they'll sell that for 10 cents on the dollar to another collection agency. And now you have a brand new collection on your credit that you didn't have before, which defeated the purpose. So there is a strategy to all of this. And it's, again, best to meet with your lender and say, look, here's my situation, here's my credit, here's my income, here's my employment, what should I do? And then follow your lender's instructions to the T. Just make sure your lender knows what they're doing as well. Because as I opened up with, a client up in Seattle met with a lender who told him to pay it down to zero and then close the accounts or he wouldn't qualify. Now he can't qualify because his FICO's too low. Right. So, it's a bit of a minefield, and that's why meeting with your lender early on in the process is paramount to your success, so that everything's executed in a timely way.
Right.
Kelly, there are a number of do's and don'ts that I could go through and probably eat up about 2 hours of your video time. So I think what I will do for your sake and for your viewers' sake is I will email you a PDF of all of this information, and all your clients and anybody watching needs to do is to reach out to Kelly and Glen Nelson, and they will shoot over a copy to you upon your request.
Yes. And always between myself and Keith, if you contact me and I don't have the exact answer, for your situation, I will always reach out to Keith and get his expertise, or you can reach out directly to Keith to get his expertise and opinion on what to do with your specific situation. And I think the most important thing that I want to encourage people to do is to just be honest, and don't, we all make mistakes sometime in our life of maybe the way we handled some, payment or payoff, or, you got ticked off about somebody coming after you for that. So you just said, screw it. I'm just going to let it go to collection. I don't care. And now, you're a few years beyond that, and you're a little bit older and wiser, and you're ready to, move into buying a home, and you're, I forgot all about that. So it happens to everybody. And we just need to resolve it. And if nothing else, I know, Keith, between yourself and me, we're problem solvers, and that's what we enjoy doing, and we enjoy being able to help people. So don't be afraid to ask any questions that you might have about, what you can do to improve your credit score, and we're going to be able to just support you in that endeavor and help you.
Yeah, 100%. If there's a will, there is a way, always. And as long as clients are serious about doing what they need to do, and they follow the instructions and participate in their own success, you and I, Kelly, will be there right along with them to help them. And it's just a matter of patience and time, and what is it going to take, and whatever it takes. Again, as long as everybody's motivated to do so, we're going to get them to the finish line. So it's just about having that strategy, following through, and getting things done.
Yep. Well, thanks again so much. I really appreciate your time and your wisdom and insight. I'll be looking forward to getting that PDF from you so that we can put that out and share it with everybody. And again, just have a great weekend, Keith. I hope it's cooler where you are than it is where I am. But
it's a little bit cooler than Arizona, but drive safe back, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week.